Welcome to the Mountain Bike Connection podcast.
That is not a little bit of effort, please.
Welcome to the Mountain Bike Connection podcast, starring River Valley Cycling. We've got Chris with us on tonight.
Welcome.
Welcome, Chris.
Glad to be here. Yeah.
So,
looking forward to it.
Why don't we start right out of the hole? You tell us a little bit about yourself. I've personally never met you. I don't know if any of you guys have, but
I think I may have. I recognize his face. I think we've seen him on the trails maybe once or twice.
More than likely.
I'm not famous. It's, I guess, a face for a podcast, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I've been riding off and on for the better part of my life, I guess. And, these days I help volunteer for River Valley Cycling. And, mountain biking for me has been a great way that I can kind of just stay out in the woods and in good shape and having lots of fun as I collect more gray hairs.
I hear that. Nothing better than being in the woods on a bike.
Can't complain. So, sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, so River Valley Cycling, what area does that cover altogether?
Yeah, so basically you can think about it as Fredericton's Mountain Bike Club. We got a pretty wide reach. Like we call ourselves River Valley because the areas that we help maintain and that we help run they stray quite a little ways outside of the city, right? So most of the trailheads in town itself, and then around the outskirts of town, anywhere that you're going to ride within about a half hour's drive. We're either actively managing it or we've got some kind of partnership. So
perfect. Yeah, like you guys are out to like Hadley would be the farthest that way, and Woolastook. What about Crab Mountain? Is that part of you guys or is that separate?
Well, look, Crab Mountain's real interesting. Like we definitely have club members that ride out there a fair bit, and we're always thinking about what kind of partnerships we might be able to strike up in the future. And a place like Crab, it offers something totally different, right? Where there's so much vertical elevation there. So yeah, we're always thinking about that. I mean, there's a little bit of riding going on at Crab now, and we know that they're interested in thinking about the future. So we've got discussions that way. And then in the other direction, at one point in the past when there really wasn't much riding in Minto, it was River Valley Cycling that was really taking on the lead towards, the kind of birth of Minto with a lot of local trail builders there. But obviously they've flourished and grown, and they're their own entity now and doing great. So
have they ever?
Yeah.
Well, biking in general in the whole River Valley, even out to Minto, is nuts. The trail systems out there and the amount of members you guys have, it's a big crew.
It's a big crew. Yeah. Our membership, just kind of before the world changed, the 2019, right? When we were all growing and full of optimism, our membership was just under 600 riders that year.
Wow.
And, it's
a lot of members.
It's still pretty healthy.
Yeah.
It's come down a little bit since the pandemic, but we're hoping to get back up to that
You
level.
didn't find anything like the COVID boom with cycling or anything up to your numbers?
No, in fact, our numbers went down a little bit. We're not really concerned about it because, I guess the optimist in me thinks, hey, everybody went out and bought a bike last year and they didn't have enough money left for their membership afterwards. We'll probably see them. We'll probably see them back next year.
True that. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. That's a huge membership. That's a lot.
It is, but it's good because you've got such a wide area that you cover. It's good to see a healthy scene. I think
It's a
scene's
good
the right
scene.
word.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I can't think of any other area that has that many trail systems it covers. Like, I mean, you guys manage a lot. Like, I can't think of anyone else.
I think we're a bit of a different beast, right? Like,
for sure.
I think of a lot of other clubs around the province and around the Maritimes, and it's nice. They're focused on one spot, right? They've got one trailhead, one area, and they put all their kind of energy and calories into it, and that's really good. And we're kind of a different approach where RBC's got 7 trailheads around town that we're trying to help support. And then we've got another 2 or 3 that, kind of around the vicinity just outside of that we want to, we kind of cooperate from time to time, and that's good in collaboration.
Yeah.
But, we don't, I guess the way we say it is like, RBC doesn't do anything. We just help other trail builders do things. Right.
Yeah.
So, that's how it works.
So basically you're the mom. Is what you're telling me. Because you don't necessarily do everything. You just have a way to delegate it to the people around you so that they do it.
They make sure everything gets done.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. We definitely are the mom. I guess that's the way to think about it.
And it's all volunteers, isn't it? Are there any paid trail builders in RVC area?
If there are, I don't know about them.
It's not through you. Okay. I didn't think so.
I should renegotiate. No, we're all volunteers. That's the amazing thing about it, right? Is that, there really was a huge pulse of trail building excitement. And that's what kind of led to the creation of RBC, kind of put some organization around it. And then since then, we've just been trying to, keep things fresh, keep momentum going, keep areas, evolving, right, as the sport evolves, so that there's new stuff to ride. Yeah, it's
a super diverse trail network, I guess you could call it. Like, you've got pretty much everything for anybody, like from hardcore enduro to cross country.
Yeah, and it wasn't always that way, right? So we were pretty heavily dominated, I'd say, by like rowdy, old school, single track, all built at a time when your handlebars were like just a little bit over 600 millimeters. So, you're shooting for the gap between the trees and thinking to yourself like, oh, I'm not sure I'm going to make this. But no, like now, we kind of always take a look at our trail network and we say, all right, like, where are the gaps? Where do people want, what style do people want to ride? And do we have any of that? And if not, like, what do we do to create it? So, a couple of years ago, we had a big focus on machine built downhill jump style trails and enduro trails. Got a lot of new stuff put in there, and that was great. A couple of years prior to that, we were really thinking about entry level flow trails because there really wasn't a lot of stuff that was approachable in town. So, like, we're always just, I said, like, kind of taking the pulse of what people want and try to create something.
Yeah, it's an awesome network of trails. Like, we love it for sure. And like I said, if you want to go and rip bunker on with something easy, you can do that. Or if you want to go and tear down some old single track, you can do that. Or you can try to hit the enduro trails if you want some of the spicier stuff.
So talking about spicy, dare I raise the question of, did you ever fix the old issue with Odell Park?
So actually,
that's ominous.
Oh yeah,
get right into it.
Sorry,
that only took a few minutes. Yeah.
Well, I work in Fredericton. I hear on the down low some of the stuff, so I figured I'd ask.
Well, it's not even on the down low. So I'll tell you what, I was riding in Odell Park 2 hours ago, and it's a great place to ride.
Yeah.
And this year, RVC's made a lot of progress with the city, and I'm feeling really optimistic about it.
That's good.
So we actually had a Canadian renowned mountain bike trail builder in Matt Hadley in this fall. We did an assessment in Odell Park with the city. We did a workshop. It was a couple of days, both kind of working together with city staff and then out in the woods in Odell, kind of walking the trails and looking at issues. And, we're really hopeful that this is going to lead somewhere where, eventually where we'd like to get is, a more cooperative and collaborative place. And, I think there's a future for riding there.
Oh,
I think so,
100%.
It was, it was strange for a few years, right? Like,
Oh,
Yeah, to say the least.
Well, I work in Fredericton, right? So I would bring my bike because, you only have an hour at lunch and you want to go, and it's like the whole Odell Park thing. And I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to do that one. So I kind of stuck to the old train bridge and kind of did the loop back down to Queen Street. But that's good to know. Progress for 2022.
I'm not going to lie. I've never ridden Odell. I've ridden every system but that one. That's it. And I don't know.
So Odell Park was probably where I learned to really enjoy mountain biking when I was going through university at UNB. And that was the year 2000, right? So those trails have been there for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the cut. It's the, I don't want to say the cut through, but it's the, like you said, it's where a lot of people use to get from A to B, right?
Well, there's a lot of people that might not have the option of throwing a bike on a bike rack in a car and that live right in the city.
Look,
and there you go.
Look, that's where all the students are, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, if you're in university and you want to ride and you only got an hour in your day, that's where you're going to go.
Exactly. Yeah. And because I have been following along with the progress of it. And I mean, the amount of work you guys are putting in, it's pretty awesome. Like to fight that hard to get it, like just to get it. I mean, nobody's getting paid to do this, and it's a lot of work and a lot of paperwork and a lot of messing around. And it's, it's been quite a procedure. I've been following it.
So on a lighter note, because I like to be the devil and ask the strange questions. I'm going to ask, what are you riding, just to kind of lighten that mood back up. There we go.
All right. I kind of suspected somebody to ask that. So, I'm not a rider that's got a ton of bikes. I got 2 bikes. I got a winter bike and a summer bike, right? So I've got a Specialized Camber from 2013, and it's still going real strong. It's probably doesn't have an original part left on it, maybe the frame. But, it's my wine bike to do it all, and I'll ride pretty much anything around town with that bike. And, it's set up for bike packing and for other stuff, so that's good. And then in the winter, I've got a, geez, what is that? It's a Stout. It's an Australian make. It's, I can't even remember the name of it. But it's a nice fat bike, right? And geez, I think any fat bike will do you in the winter to have fun.
I agree. Yeah, I don't think you need anything hardcore for that I know of.
Apollo, that's the name of it.
Okay. Yeah. Never heard of Darren, you probably heard of that.
Apollo in the UK is kind of like a Canadian tire brand, but in Australia it's something else entirely.
Sorry.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yep.
Well, look, it gets the job done for me. It was, bike's a bike, right?
Yep.
And really, how hard are you riding in winter?
That's kind of my thoughts. I mean, it's not like you're sending jumps.
You're not going,
like
sending it off like drops and good knows whatever else in winter. You're just trying to stay on the snow, on the track, and not die of cold.
That's right. Of cold, try not to freeze to death. So some of the latest work you guys have done would have been that machine-built trail in Hadley. Is that right? Correct?
Yeah. Learning to fly. That's the one you're thinking of. We got a couple of new. Yeah, we got a couple of new ones in Hadley.
Is that there's the climb trail and then the one down or something? I went up that and down it.
Yeah, and that's kind of the project. That was one of our big projects this year, and there's some more stuff kind of in the cards for next year. So that's kind of interesting and exciting. But learning to fly, it's nice. It's a real approachable jump trail. Everything's kind of got a beeline around it, so it's a good place to kind of learn to get your bike underneath you, I guess, and see if you can get the wheels off the ground. And the climb trail's a great, quite honestly, for that area because it's a pretty big ridge with fairly big drop on it. So you're looking for approachable ways to get to the top. Everything else that we had there was definitely you're going to get your calories burnt that day having a good ride around. So no, it's good. And we on that project actually we're working with a set of landowners out there in Peniac that they're really excited about kind of having trails on the land and getting them done sustainably and getting them done right. And so it's nice because we work with all kinds of different landowners, and some of them, they're there and they're not invested in biking, so they just kind of tolerate you, and that's kind of the best you can ever hope for. But when landowners come by that they're actually excited about having some trails on the land, geez, they're the best to work with. So that's good.
That's really good, because I have been out there. I've ridden there a couple times. I did like a big cross country ride on some of the single track, and man, there's some wicked steep switchbacks in there going down the hill. And then I was back later and did the new climb trail and jump trail, and man, that's a big chunk of ground in there with a lot of elevation, like super
lot of elevation. Yeah, it'll make you strong.
Yeah.
And that's what we tell people sometimes if they're really just coming to a beginner ride for the first time in Fredericton maybe, and they're on a place like the Hadley trails in Peniac, and they're saying, geez, this is tough. And we're like, well, it's tough, but it's going to make you strong. And then, wherever you want to travel, you'll feel like a rock star.
Yeah. It's tough, but it's not crazy. Like, I mean, I'm a big dude, and it wasn't that bad. It's just a long bike up because it's a long friggin' trail. Like, it's a good climb trail and a long downhill descent. Like, it's a good payoff for the climb, that's for sure. Definitely well worth it.
Was this one of those Fridays when the rest of us around the table have to work?
It was 100% a Friday when you guys were working.
And you decided, I'm going to go ride Hadley.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I rode the new jump line.
I think working Fridays is overrated.
Well, I can tell you with 100% certainty it's overrated.
Wes tends to go try things when the rest of us have to work, and then tells us about how awesome they are when we're working. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is.
We've all got friends like that, right?
Yeah. He also has epic crashes as well when we're not there to see it.
Yeah, true that.
Was it Hadley that you had that crash at?
No, that was Crab Mountain.
Oh, yeah, that were it.
Crab Mountain got me pretty good. One of the big hip jumps.
Yeah, and we all missed it.
Yes, you did.
Nobody got it on camera. Nothing.
Yeah. No, I think I did. I think I slipped out once on the jump trail in Hadley. Got dirty, but nothing major. It's an awesome trail.
I would say more than anywhere else in town, Hadley's the place where we hear the most epic storytelling coming out of people's rides. There's always something fantastic. They get chased out of there by a bear or, God knows what.
Yeah, there's a lot of game tracks in there. There's a lot of moose and moose tracks in there. Deer.
Which is the one that has is it like some crazy ass bird or something that attacks people?
That's MVP, isn't it?
Oh,
Goshawk.
Yes,
Goshawk.
that's it.
No, there's two of them. There's northern Goshawk. There's one in the woodlot, and there's another one at Island View. And you don't want to get them in nesting season.
Yeah, I like, because obviously we follow all the trail networks and such on social media. So it's like at one point there was 3 or 4 messages of people saying, you need to be careful on this corner near here because she is pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that.
But yeah, Hadley's fun. It will definitely pucker your asshole for sure. It's got some good spice to it. It's fun.
So it's fair to
It's
say
one of the original networks.
Yeah, exactly.
We're well into the winter riding season now. So how many of your networks are groomed for winter riding?
Well, I think the big push is this weekend. So, we haven't got quite as much snow as the St. John Moncton area has this winter so far.
It's been pretty poor so far.
The groomers went out and checked it out after the snowfall last week, and they felt like they need one more good snowstorm before they're able to make a pass through at MVP, at least in particular, because there's so much rock there that we really got to get that covered up before we can take the grooming equipment through. But the snow's coming down right now. I don't know if we're going to get kind of 15 or hopefully closer to 30. If it was closer to 30, I'd say they'd be grooming tomorrow. But fingers crossed. So, in the meantime, we're kind of in that shoulder season. It's kind of run a little bit longer than it normally does. In Fredericton, we're usually grooming by now. But kind of subject to the weather, right? But still lots of places to ride that have been snowshoed in, and it's hey, look, there's no such thing as a bad day to ride, really.
That's for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. So you guys for winter trails, you're mostly doing just MVP, and everything else is snowshoe beat in, or?
No, I'll tell you what, we've got 3 networks in Fredericton that we're grooming as RVC. So we've got
nice.
MVP, we've got Deer Park in Ormunkto, and then we've got Woolastook, which really picked up on grooming last winter, and we're doing it again this year. It was a big popular area. That's us. There's another machine groom place in Mactaquac Provincial Park, which is good riding, and it's probably real popular riding for people who are just starting out wintertime. And then on top of that, we've got some pretty concentrated snowshoeing efforts at 2 or 3 other trail networks in town. Like RVC's, obviously it's not our project to snowshoe them, but hey, look, it makes for lots of good winter riding around town, so that's great.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you were actually doing 3 trail systems. I thought Woolastook might be. I knew MVP was, but I didn't know you had 3 on the go. That's good. That's a lot.
We got 3.
A lot of options.
We got 3 on the go, and then like I say, there's lots other riding around town that just informally gets done.
Very cool. So how long has RVC actually been around?
Yeah, so we've been around. I mean, I haven't been there since the beginning, but I went and talked to some of the guys who were, and RVC kind of started up in 2010. And that's when it became its own kind of not-for-profit organization. And, I think in the 2010 year, they maybe had 15 or 20 members. And so it's just been kind of snowballing since then, right? And picking up steam.
That's cool. Yeah, it's definitely become a huge club. For sure. What do you guys have going on for events? I mean, obviously COVID, who knows?
Yeah,
but, are you trying to have any events?
Nothing until January 30th.
Yeah, nothing until January.
Yeah, that's right. Well, look, all I can tell you about is like what we'd be having during kind of a normal year, right? So in the wintertime, look, the biggest thing that we were doing in previous years was the Tour de Beer, right? Like we had a big popular, sold out, usually within 15 or 20 minutes of us posting the tickets online. Had a lot of local breweries helping us out, and we do like a big organized winter tour to all the breweries around town. Super fun event. Obviously, we can't be running that this year, but really hoping we can do that again next winter. We've got a couple of races, so we were able to do the Woolastook 4 race this year. That was really good. That's kind of August. We're already planning for what we're going to do next year for Woolastook 4. Always a super popular race event. And then, we're going to organize things. We're going to organize group rides, and we're going to organize kind of events here, there, and as we can. But it's been tough, right? It's been tough. And, things like youth cycling instruction and organized group rides, even then, it's a challenge. But I mean, I'm not going to kind of cry at anybody because everybody's going through it together, right?
It's more than a challenge. I mean, to put all the work and effort into creating an event, and then all of a sudden we get into a lockdown and it's just gone. That's rough. Hey,
it's the uncertainty, right?
Yeah, it is what it is. So it does make it hard as an organizer and as a club to have events or even really plan anything, put the work into it. But you guys are doing good.
I mean, we've really kind of said in the last, year, especially that, because there's so much uncertainty around what's going on and whether or not we'll be able to host big events, like it really hasn't been our focus. We've kind of taken it as an opportunity to kind of focus on the trails, and like we're putting a little less effort, a little less money into event planning and stuff like that, and a little bit more kind of emphasis on trail maintenance and trail building and planning for the future. And I'm sure it'll shift. Like if we get through this thing, it'll shift back, and events will be easier to pull off, I think.
Well, and that's you guys are doing good for trail building. I mean, if you can't have the events, and I mean, you're like you said, you're putting the time into trail building. So when this mess all ends, you're going to have a lot of nice new trails and other places to host events. So that's cool.
Yeah.
What do you guys have? Do you guys have any plans for trails like this summer coming up? Anything new, or what do you got on the go for this summer kind of deal?
Oh, geez, there's always plans. And actually right now we're thinking about like, all right, what's our priorities? Because we got so many ideas on the table. And like, when somebody brings to us an idea about a trail that they want to develop, and, it's really like our question is like, all right, sounds like a great project. Like, how can we help you? Specifically for next year, I mean, I'm just thinking out loud. I think there's going to be more stuff that people are going to see developed in Peniac. That's an area where we've kind of really got excited about, and we want to put some more energy into. We've got some big plans for Woolastook Park. So, right now we've got a good trail network in what we kind of call the front country, but there's so much more land back there that is accessible, and that we've got the agreements in place with the province, and we're able to look at it, and that's something we were doing this year, scoping out a lot of ground, a lot of really interesting terrain too in Woolastook. So that's that's something that we might focus on next year. And I mean, just the other thing is with the city of Fredericton. So I think we're going to put some energy over the winter into seeing like, gee, what can we really do collaboratively in spaces like Odell and also in Killarney Lake Park, because there's a lot of great ground in Killarney Lake that's kind of untapped as far as we see as far as mountain biking goes. And it's an area where I think, the city's already expressed some interest in having some more mountain bike trails there. So, generally speaking, I'd say like RVC, we're thinking about, some of these kind of larger, more like institutional partners, if you want to call it that. It's great. It's great working with small kind of, family-owned properties. But at the same time, like you can put your energy into some of these larger pieces of ground and really get a lot out of it.
But you got the luxury of the city of Fredericton. We see that as well with Rockwood, right? They've got the luxury of the city of St. John, where you have that ability to build that partnership, and they have resources that, like, I mean, for ourselves in Heartland, for the Becker Gwemic Trails, I mean, it's amazing, and Heartland
we are
is
the resources.
Wonderful, but we are the resources.
You're literally
right?
looking at the resource.
So, whenever we see, I mean, we're slightly envious whenever we see some of your trail building pictures, because we're like doing a head count, and we're like, there's like 35 people there, and we're lucky if we get 6.
Yeah, if
6 would be a big day.
if we've got a machine-built trail, Wes is the machine doing the building.
Yeah. It's Wes with a rake.
Pretty much.
But yeah, no, the luxury of having that Fredericton city that's able to support you and work with you, and like you said, look at what you have within your town, within the city, and then work with them. So that's awesome.
I would say this, it's like one of those things where the grass is always greener on the other side of the road, right? Like, I think if I come up to Becker Gwemic, I'm going to probably find lots of reasons that you probably have something special going on. And, you mentioned Rockwood, right? And that's a great example. I'm riding down in Rockwood all the time. And, I look at the stuff that St. John Cycling's doing and the trail miners with the city of St. John there. And I grew up in Rockwood Park. Like when I'm talking about like a teenager riding bikes, that's where I'd go. And boys, oh boys, it's like a different planet in there now. It's the riding is so great. And that's come through same kind of volunteer work and good collaboration and, moving mountains of rock in order to make a nice trail. So it's impressive.
But it's years of nurturing that relationship, right? And utilizing each other and building this system that allows, like you said, people, we wouldn't think twice about going from Woodstock to St. John for the weekend to bike, right? So it's good to see that group.
Takes a whole community too. I think it takes a sense of community. It takes community ownership of something, and to get city support. What we're finding here in Fredericton, and I'm sure it's the same everywhere else. You want to have the support of the business community too, and like you talk about the Fredericton mountain bike scene. And even in the middle of the pandemic, like the news is all good. It's all growth, right? So you got shops like the Radical Edge who have already talked about, maybe popping up another location in town and growing their business. And we've got a brand new shop in Explore Velo that's just opened up in town, and that's just in the last month. And so, when you think about, wow, the business world all around you is having so much of a challenge, and yet mountain biking in a small little town, and it seems to be nothing but growth. So that kind of speaks volumes when you're going to a city and asking for help.
And look at like the Mountain Bike Atlantic, right?
Exactly.
And what Sam's doing there from an Atlantic region and really growing we want to put the East Coast on the map, just as, you know, when people think mountain biking West Coast, they think of Whistler. So we want to try, and I'm not saying that, you know, Heartland is the next Whistler or even Florenceville, but, you know, we want people
We've
to
got
be
our
as
own jive. We've got an East Coast jive going on that you can't match anywhere else. Anywhere you go in this province, you can hit the ground on a trail system, and it's pretty much different in one way or another from the next one down the road and the next one from that.
Well, that's
Minto's unique. MVP's got its own unique stuff. I've never ridden Hadley or Peniac to be able to comment there, but
You'll like it.
riding in Fredericton is not like riding in Campbellton or Hillsborough or anywhere else.
Nope.
But that's the thing about the East Coast, the diversity from New Brunswick to Nova Scotia to PEI is crazy. Like, you don't get that kind of diversity anywhere else.
And I don't think other places have that level of diversity. Yeah, BC's got Squamish and Whistler, but mostly that's just massive park or North Shore style wooden building. You know, we've got a bit of everything. We've got parks. We've got
places that look like the friggin' moon. We've got in Minto, and then we got places like Macintosh Run that's all friggin' granite and old forest fire. To the trails in Fredericton, to everywhere.
So dare I ask, Chris, what is your favorite trail system? And don't feel obliged to say Fredericton. Nobody's going to judge. We only have like 19 listeners anyway, so.
Actually, we do not. We've got a lot more.
I know. I was
tallying
19,000.
We have 19,000 people that listen to us daily.
We're a tad over 10 million short of Joe Rogan's last episode, but, you know, we're trying.
Yeah. Well, you know, Joe Rogan's coming on the next one. Just saying.
Sure he is.
Oh, he's thinking. He's rubbing his
So
hands.
that's such a tough one to answer. I'll tell you what. I'll say this. I think the most special trail in New Brunswick is probably the Sussex Bluffs, because if you ride that, it is just an amazing, amazing trail. It's not long. It's not going to take you all day to do it, but you know, I love it. And I've been riding through some bigger rides kind of around the Sussex to Fundy Park to Hillsborough connection. I've been bike packing through there a couple of different summers, linking together kind of longer rides that connect up Sussex to Hillsborough to the Elgin area and stuff like that.
You're the one who put that on Trail Forks, aren't you?
And I just think to myself, like, man, oh man, that Sussex Bluff area is some beauty.
It is. I know that route you're talking about too. I've actually looked at it on Trail Forks. It was probably you that built it and put it in there.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's basically my ride log. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, I got to agree. The bluffs are pretty.
There's still some places we've got to tick off this year.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't done Elgin.
I think we should make a point of ticking off some of the places, because I remember like Odell Park. It's right there.
Yeah.
Why haven't we ridden it?
Well, we haven't. I'm not sure Erin's going to ride Odell Park.
No, the last time we went to Odell, the kids got into a ground nest of hornets.
Yeah. She found it, and Erin is our little ripper. She's only 11, so she typically comes with us. So I think if we mentioned Odell Park, she'd like that would be the time she'd tell us to go screw ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, I've had my 5 and 7-year-old at the time down Bone Shaker and lots of other stuff too. So I mean, there's fun for the kids in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You should go to Odell and take a rip down Bone Shaker for sure.
We should just lie to her. We'll call that one Hadley just for the day. And not tell her.
I think all you'd have to do is just tell her she's too slow.
Oh God. Yeah. You can tell her that. She'll kick your ass.
Yeah, she'll be there though.
Yeah.
She will be there.
But
go on.
On the New Brunswick tick list, I mean, like, if you think about trails that you got to ride, and like, let's say for a person that's only going to be here for a couple of days and you got time to make it from one place to another, I'd say like you got to ride Bone Shaker in Fredericton, you got to ride Insanity Later in Minto, you got to ride the Sussex Bluffs, you got to ride down Viagra, right, in Hillsborough. You got to do a whitetail run. And you got to make it to Rockwood in order to, I'd say, geez, what's my favorite trail in Rockwood? That's a hard one.
I like the new one.
We'll just say bunny rampage to carnage today.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Ask me tomorrow, and I'll probably have a different answer.
Yeah.
And obviously, they need to continue up the River Valley and stop at the Beck. Come see some of the trails there, and absolutely has to go and bust their balls in Edmundston.
Yeah.
73 kilometers up for a wicked 2 kilometers down. I think that pretty much summarizes Edmundston.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But no, that's awesome. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, the little province has got a lot to offer these days.
We do.
Truly does.
Like you said, nothing's the same everywhere. So very different. Right? So...
That wind is crazy.
I thought you was whistling actually a minute ago. We could hear whistling, and I'm like looking at Laurie trying to figure out what she's doing. It's actually the wind.
The wood still.
It's brutally cold out there as well. Yeah. We just left the guy loading up a car on the trailer at Murray's there. It was brutal. Even through my deerskin gloves, my fingers are getting frostbite.
Oh, wow.
So, Chris, River Valley, anything you want to add? Give us your plugs for your social media. And if there's anything that we need to know for the up and coming 2022 season, let us know.
Or anything we haven't covered.
Yeah. Tell the listeners how to buy a membership.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. The biggest thing that we've got going on right now is that we're running a big GoFundMe campaign for some new winter grooming gear. Okay. And so we've been running that just in advance of Christmas. We started it. And if everything goes right, we're going to hit our target tomorrow. Right. So we're trying to get $5,000, and I think we're going to be there. I checked it a couple hours ago, and we're, I don't know, somewhere around 95% of our target. So
That's awesome.
Hey, we're really looking forward to it. We're going to up our fleets. So we got, quite a few snow machines now, and hey, look, you can always use another one when it's talking about grooming. So,
right.
That's exciting. That's new for us. And I think that's going to be, an exciting development around town. Look, we're pretty active on Instagram and on Facebook, and we keep an up-to-date website. We're easy to find. We're not the River Valley Cycling in North Carolina, so make sure your listeners get to the Canadian ones. But every once in a while, an American company will offer to send us some jerseys or something. But,
there you go.
Anyway,
That's what we need.
I've got a shipping address in Holton if you want to use it. I'll just pick it up and then send it back to Fredericton.
Yeah, that'd be
So what you need to do... Sorry, go on.
Well, the last thing I'd say is anybody who's in town, the other trail, I'd be kicked out of the club if I failed to mention that everybody needs to go do a monkey business run. So monkey business, that has got to be the signature trail. We had a great beer. That was our beer collaboration trail. You guys probably
that's right. Yeah.
Seen the beer collaboration last year. So we had the beer collaboration on that one, and man, oh man, I'd say that's probably had more runs on it in the last 2 years than just about every other trail system in Fredericton for the last 10 before it. So
that's incredible. So when we have, because, Heartland and the Florenceville are on the River Valley. So when we do have some trail building days, we will definitely let you know. Then you can send some of your awesome trail builders down to help us.
Yeah, well, I think that's a great idea, actually. More like collaborations kind of across clubs, right?
Well, we've said that big for a workshops. Long time, right? I know we talked about the guys in St. John about it, about doing almost like a trail builder exchange where we will come down to you guys come up here and, just visit different trail systems around the province and see how each one operates and goes about building their trails and managing their volunteers, because that kind of, I don't even know the word I'm looking for, that kind of influence from another trail builder system or organization. Views from different people. That's it. It's a different perspective, right? Yeah. So it's seeing how they manage their resources and seeing how we can use that to better manage ours.
Everybody's got little tips and tricks that they use.
Yeah.
You learn something, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you learn something. Either every time you go and try and open up a new piece of ground, you either learn something from what the woods is trying to teach you or from the person who you're with that's different. So, it's a great idea.
And I'd probably get shot off Jeff if I didn't mention this to you. But we also have it's OTB Trail Design. So what they do is and they've been on the podcast before. They take the land and they look at it from a computer perspective. So they kind of are able to map. I'm really not selling it very well. I'm really butchering it.
As Jeff would say, is using GIS systems to analyze the ground and kind of find the best route for trails, avoid drainage and other issues. And at a time like this, when you've got snow on the ground and you can't see those kind of things underneath, analyzing the ground information and the data available is it's a blueprint, right? You can look at potential problem areas and say, yeah, we got to avoid this here, or we know we're going to have to build something in this spot.
See, I knew I'd butcher it.
Yeah.
But basically what it does, I'll tell you from a woman's perspective. What it does is they get to walk up ahead.
Listen good.
They get to walk up ahead with this mapped out trail, right? So you don't have to worry about what you're walking into. You get to get the, what's that tool you gave me? The axe thing, was it that I had?
It was a machete.
I had a machete.
Yeah.
So you get to
we were well ahead of that one.
Oh, yeah. You get the machete and basically you just follow them, and what should take like 8 hours of your life that you're never going to get back, it took us next to nothing. Let's just say an hour. I drank my coffee as we walked.
We had 3 kilometers of trail we had it already mapped.
Yeah.
Threw it on the GPS, followed it, and then cleared it out just on a 8 foot and gave the side clearance for the trail. And weekend we had it done. Less than a weekend. I mean, over the course of a weekend, we probably did 6 hours of hiking. But half of it was kind of drop tools and squirrel off to the side and check out a huge rock face and slab roll and side hits. And you know what guys are like when they get into trail building, right?
Yeah, I put my machete.
Squirrels with hand grenades.
It sounds like with a coffee, a machete, and a computer, there's a lot you can get done.
Oh my gosh.
There really is.
And we have to look at these things because we don't have the luxury of having so many people that are involved.
Well, we got
machinery,
got a lot of space. So, like the Beck of Gwimek, the land there is pretty sensitive in terms of drainage. So we have to be really careful there. So it helps us in that aspect. And then Florenceville is like
Rockwood on steroids.
Yeah, it's like someone took Rockwood and extruded it by about 200 meters of elevation.
It's like Rockwood on Edmundston.
Yeah, it really is. So, being able to use something other than our eyes and like we can't get out there now. The winter's completely shut off. We're done getting up that hill until spring and the snow breaks.
But the system allows.
But we can sit there and
that'll get up that hill.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? You can't see the ground. And in places like Florenceville and Rockwood and certain areas in MVP where you get a lot of rock, it's important that you be able to see the ground. And if you can use that data, because the data is like 1 meter resolution, you could see individual tire ruts in the ground on it.
Yeah. It sounds like you guys use a very similar process to us. So like we usually have access to LiDAR data for pretty well anywhere where we're gonna go lay out, and in some cases we found it saved us a lot of time. So
that's right.
Sounds real similar.
Yeah, you get from the process of planning to building a lot quicker.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
Yep.
So you've got to leave at 9:00, and we're getting pretty handy to there. Anything else last minute you need to add? Anyone else? Can you think of?
Well, I'd just say thanks for having me on the show. It's been fun. And like, if your listeners are interested in finding out more about RVC, if they're in the Fredericton area and they want to ride, our trails are always open, right? So if you're a visitor, by all means, come check it out. And if you like what you see, look us up online, and there's different ways to support the trail system. And, if you're a person who's in town and you want to try it out, get in touch with the club. We got lots of ways for you to become a member or learn how to support the community in one way or another, and just kind of make connections, right? And there's lots of different ways to connect. You can connect with riders who are either at your own kind of level and follow your own, similar interests, or maybe you're looking to connect with people your same age, whatever it is. We can try to help, make those connections for you so that you have a good time. And like I was saying earlier, at one point a year or two ago, RVC was around 600 members or so. We're going to get back to there. And, when you think about a club that size, people come from all walks of life, right? So we've got everything from young kids who are just starting out. We've got definitely riders who are elite top level athletes. We've got senior citizens and basically everybody in between. So yeah, anyway, I hope if nothing else comes of this, then people had an interesting kind of listen, and maybe they look us up afterwards.
So how much are your memberships per year, Chris?
Well, I tell you, we will be as little as $25, and as much. We'll take your money after that.
Absolutely.
And I would say this: if you can't afford $25, you get in touch with us, and we'll work something out.
Yeah, always.
Exactly.
Well, that's a lot of trail access. That's a lot of work, and everything for $25. You're not just getting summer trails. You're getting winter trails, grooming.
Yeah.
Off the
whole
top of
shebang.
your head, do you guys have any idea how many kilometers of trail you have in your system?
Oh, boys, it changes all the time. So the last time, we kind of looked at it, I'd say we're getting close to 200 clicks of trails in the Fredericton area. That's either trails that we've built and maintained, or trails that are, built and maintained by kind of other groups that are kind of in the same radius, and we collaborate from time to time.
Or whatever, yeah.
It's a lot, right? It's a lot.
I mean, you can ride a different trail system there every day of the week.
Yeah, I would say if you're a rider in Fredericton, you actually have to challenge yourself to ride every trail in the course of a summer.
You probably, no doubt about that. Because we haven't even ridden all the trail systems there.
No.
We'll check that off this summer.
Oh, is that one of your challenge accepted moments?
I think that was a good idea to tackle some of the places that we haven't done. I mean, there's not too many places we haven't done, but
yeah.
Maybe when we do, we can reach out to Chris, the guys, and see about getting a local guide.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Be happy to.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Chris. And you didn't get interrupted by kids. Good job.
Yeah.
Hey, there's another win. Talk to you later, guys.
Right on.
See you, Chris. Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
Bye.
No, don't hit.
I didn't say
Miss
anything.
Laurie is absolutely dying to hit that button.
Dang it.
And she's not even going to give us an
the
outro.
Zoom call ended. Let's stop the recording.
I didn't
Jeez,
say
Laurie.
anything.
She was reaching for it.
Finger was
What
going.
She was going.
I was gonna.
I saw that ET finger going. The Zoom call ended. That means we're done. Every single time.
You managed to get through that whole thing and didn't fart.
I figured I'd keep this one a little bit proper.
I was actually very impressed.
All right. So what did Cockley say?
Cockley Blockley, or what did he call himself?
Matt Poo Cockley.
Matt Poo Cockley, yeah. We
So
have,
sponsors on the
we have
Narcoach
our
podcast.
first Patreon supporter.
We absolutely do, yeah.
Cockley Blockley or Matt Cockley.
Kiwi.
The Kiwi from
Attaboy.
NB.
What do you say?
As-
$5 a fart?
No, he said he's going to do the $5 a month on Patreon,
Okay.
but every time I fart, I have to say his name.
Did I not see something as well about $10 for every time Laurie squirrels?
I did, but I don't think he's going to hold himself to that.
Yeah, we can't hold him
Because
to
he
that.
originally said $5 a fart, and I'm like, there's my retirement. But he quickly changed his tune to $5 a month on Patreon, which is great. So
Awesome.
That's good.
next episode, I'm eating a can of beans and going to earn that $5.
Maybe we need
Yeah.
to change the name of the podcast to something similar that's huge in America.
What do you mean?
Just based on what you just said about, people wanting to send them free jerseys. Why don't we
Yeah.
just change ourselves to like the Joe Rogan
No, I don't think Joe would appreciate
mountain
that.
podcast?
We would
Plus,
so be
How
I
about
know.
the
Fucking
Joe?
ex-MMA. I don't
Well,
want to
he's
come down and kick my teeth in.
Joe. Joe, J-O-E. We could be J-O.
Oh, Joel.
There's no one here called Joe or Joel. How do you make that out?
I can be Joe.
We could be the Joe Rogan.
We can totally change our names. There's nothing that says that we can't.
Anyway, though, Al,
This is the Joe Rodan
that's
podcast.
a hell of a friggin'
Send us money.
That's a hell of a goal, isn't it? 11 million listeners on a single episode. Yeah,
One
11
episode?
million.
Was that the COVID one?
What
Oh,
COVID one?
Dr. McCullough?
Pass.
Was that the Dr.
Yeah, I think
McCullough?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, what
Yeah, it
a
was like he had
What
like
a listener base.
190 million downloads.
So
And
what
Yeah.
have we
a
got?
month or
Like
something.
just 10.5 million to make up?
I think
To
7
get
or 8
almost
million.
there, yeah. Like,
oh, we
yeah.
got a lot to make up to reach that level.
10 million?
Not really. We're right there. Spotify, I heard, offered us around 70, 80 million, but we'll hold off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cheap asses.
We're just.
They gave him 100 million.
Really? What if I gave him $100 million?
Of course it did, yeah,
just
because
shits
look
and
at his
giggles?
user base, 190 million downloads. Think of the freaking
For
ads revenue
exclusive
on that.
rights to his podcast on Spotify only.
That's nuts.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to get Joe Rogan on a mountain bike.
Just remember that every time we fire up these mics. $100 million. Hey, we're $5 closer. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matthew. We love you, bro. Finally got his one-up dropper installed.
Oh, is that what you was jiggling around with?
Yeah,
that
so we had some spare bits.
And his fork and his shock.
Yeah, he had like a spare bit for the dropper, and he was like, "What's this?" And I thought it was the cable clamp, but it wasn't. So I don't know what I was thinking. Apparently, my brain just shit out that information.
And Kate got a new bike.
Kate
Yeah.
did indeed get a new bike. Yep. Hell of a deal.
Everyone's upgrading. I'm still waiting for Adam to give me his list.
Have you asked him, have you talked to him about maybe selling you his bike?
No.
It's
I
nice.
think Adam's in the same boat everybody else is. They don't
Yeah,
want to
he
sell
doesn't
shit until they
want-
got a new
yeah.
one.
Yeah, I was keen to sell mine at the end of the season. I'm like,
Yeah, I don't
maybe
know
I'll
until
wait till
just
I
a little
know
while.
that I'm going to have a bike to ride.
And that's why I spoke to Adam first, right? Like, I'd rather do that and then
Yeah.
Have you sold yours, do you think?
he
Or
wants to come see it.
New one first, and
Yeah,
then
no.
I'd rather do that than.
My baby's not leaving my.
Can you imagine us riding down the trail and Becky's running down the trail behind us holding the handlebars going, "Blah, blah."
No,
Oh, we'll just
I'll just beat y'all to fucking death with said handlebars if I don't have a bike.
we'll just get you a bike trailer.
Yeah, there you go. I've still got one.
I've seen the way you ride.
Yeah.
I'm not
So you can
sitting
be-
in no fucking
I think
bike.
that'd be a proper good time.
You'd fucking kill me.
That'd be fun.
Oh my god! What did Gary
that would
say?
be all bad.
You have to measure your ass.
No, Gary
Mine?
says you have to measure your butt crack.
Yeah, your butt crack from top to bottom. And then tell us if it's bigger when you're sat down versus
Oh,
stood
just
up.
this just random frigging conversations that come up.
Where do you start? Like your taint to the
Oh, I don't know.
Wouldn't it be to like?
I think there's a little bit of ambiguity there.
I think it's like where your balls kind of stop, right?
your
Or
taint.
your tank.
Taint.
Your,
Taint your balls and a taint
Your-
your asshole.
Are you saying tent?
Yes.
Taint.
T A
Paint with
I.
a T.
Yeah.
Why are you calling it a tent?
Because it taint your balls
That's
and it
what they
taint
call
your
it over here.
asshole.
Is that really what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh, I just called it the saggy flap shit.
Undercarriage. Saggy flap shit.
No,
you-
that's you guys.
If you got a saggy ass taint, there's something going on there. You should see a doctor.
I don't have balls.
Isn't it called the peritoneum?
Perineum.
I don't know.
I gotta Google it.
So you've got to measure it from where your saggy ball flap bit is, all the way up to where your butt cheeks become back.
Wow. This riveting. Listeners
Well,
are.
no, okay. So we was talking about it.
What the hell is the context on this anyway?
Okay, we was talking about how where did we go? Moncton Velo, where you sit on a thing and it
That's
measures
right, yeah.
your butt so that
Measures
you
your sit
have the
bones.
correct. Sorry, your seat bones. Are you trying? Would you like my glasses? Perineum.
Yeah,
So what did you call
get
it?
measured for a
Periton-
saddle, yeah.
I think you said something
Measures
like
your sit
flowers.
bones.
There is a peritoneum, but it's a different part of it.
Is that not a flower? Not like the
That's a
flower.
perennial.
I don't fucking. Anyway. So we were talking about measuring your butt cheeks and your butt bone things to see what's the correct size of a bike seat for you, because Darren's talking about his balls going numb when you do
Oh,
a
that was
long
it, yeah.
ride.
Yours are too?
No. Well, Gary said he got his trainer set up and he was like, "Oh, my balls are going numb. All my junk goes numb." I was like, yeah, you got a seating issue. You got to change the seat or the angle or
So that's how we got onto asses.
Yes, it is.
And then we were talking about measuring, and that's when we said everyone needs to measure their ass from their
It's
hoo-ha.
your sit bones. It's this way, not.
Well, I know, but that it developed.
Progression, Wesley, progression, you know.
It developed, okay? It did originally start with your two jabby bits that you stick in your leg to the hole from.
Jabby bits.
Yeah, your
What the
them bony things.
Sit bones.
Your sit
Seat
bones.
bones or
Oh,
sit
is that what
bones.
they're called?
Yeah, two jabby bits that stick in your legs.
Yeah, when I
Wow.
sit on your knee and you go, "Ooh, that hurts." Them bits.
The bony ass bits, razor bones.
Yeah, them bits. So we got to anyway. So you need to measure your butt crack. I am not measuring your butt crack.
I do. I wouldn't ask you to.
Thank you.
Yeah, I need to go to Velo and get that done. I didn't know they had a saddle measure.
It's so weird. Like you
can-
stand up and then you got to sit down. And then you just got to stand.
Being the cheap ass that I am, you can do it with a piece of brown corrugated cardboard like an Amazon box.
Just wherever
cut
your
it.
butt bones
Yep.
dented in.
And then measure
Or
it
like a
center
piece
to
of
center.
memory foam.
I know, but
No, memory foam won't work. You
are you-
need the cardboard and then just kind of sit yourself down, pull yourself down a little bit. Make sure you get the indent and then measure center to center.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't mean this to be rude.
But the machine does it a lot better than.
Well, the machine kind of really smooshes into you. Like I don't know.
That's what that little smile was.
I don't know how far away your sit bones are from the cushion. Like I don't know what the
I get a lot of ass.
right? Like if you was to sit on cardboard, like I know here, give me your hand. Okay. Like no.
Your sit
Oh,
bones
you
are not.
almost put your finger up my ass.
Spit on it, Wesley.
That there.
It was close.
It was really close.
You-
Like, it
when you sit
happened.
down, your sit bones are less than an inch from the surface.
Okay. Well, mine are right there. Like, can you feel my bones?
Mine is too.
Okay.
Where's all my
Let me
ass?
feel your bones.
Right here.
Wait, can you please place my hand? I don't know what. I'll put a finger up your butt cheek.
Just up.
It's
Right?
normal.
Oh yeah, I've never felt.
Never felt sit bones on anybody else.
We are
before.
literally feeling each other's asses.
Yeah. Good job, we're all family.
We should be videoing this one.
It should be.
Darren, would you like to feel my ass?
Definitely not.
You know, you was right near my hole.
Well, you didn't grab my hand. I just kind
And
of
then
held
he
my hand.
carried on going, and it was like.
I'm not a jealous wife.
I
Do you
touched
wanna
Becky's
feel-
butthole.
Would you like to feel my butt cheek too? But no, the machine, like I said, the machine really kind of like it comes into you and it kind of. I don't know. I can't explain it, but anyway.
It measures where your pressure is from your sit bones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I like my bike seat. Now it's up a little. Well,
What?
oh no, did I put it down? I don't know how I did it, but it's just right. Like, if I'm on it, like, and my seat's right up, it's in a really good position.
I think I'm going to put her seat back on the bike because I've got that thing tipped so far forward I damn near fall off of it. But my junk is still going to sleep. I have
That's
to stand up.
quite a laid back seat post angle, though,
Mhm.
really.
So I don't know. I think I'm going to put her small seat back on because I
When
can't
I
get
ride
comfortable.
it, I have an actual towel, like a full size. I have a full size towel that I fold up and I put on it, and I still sit on that towel, and my butt still hurts.
Yeah.
It's not my butt. It's a freaking.
We have Becky's
Falling
bike on the
asleep.
trainer, and
That is an
man, that friggin' seat splits me right in half.
Right? Do you see?
like a whole, like I don't have a big
Becky's off to
regular
Canadian
house.
Tire in the morning
Do
to buy
you
a big,
see where
big
I
ass
want the
CCM
ones with
seat.
the great big springs?
They have the ones like this.
Yeah, I saw those.
They're about a foot and a half wide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sofa wider than the handlebars.
This bit is too far up. Like if I was riding this, yeah, my hoo-ha are good now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so far
Can you not
down.
put it down?
It is down, but it's so far down you just about fall off the seat.
But it's
Yeah.
not for us.
No.
It's not down for us.
That's got to be a woman's seat.
Yeah.
Because
Maybe. It's just a
like
cheap seat.
looking nicely on my bone bits. It just needs to come down a bit because my hoo-ha's going to go sleep.
Yeah, because it pushes up and it hurts your.
Oh, yeah. You can feel it. It's proper like, in your hoo-ha.
We have to find a seat guru.
Man.
Or maybe we can coax Steve on from Velo and he can
I'm
talk
just
to
gonna
us
bring
about
in
his
the-
seat measure.
cordless bandsaw and chop the horn off that seat.
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
Yeah, but how do people like when? And I know you've explained it to me before, the whole mountain bike, road bike, blah 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 blah. But when, like, even just the other night, like I went on, what did I do, like 12 kilometers or whatever it was. There were a guy that was riding with me 63 kilometers. And by 13 kilometers, my hoo-ha was going, we're done.
That's just time served in the saddle. That probably doesn't have any feeling back there anymore.
Huh.
I think, well, road bikes, they must have a way steeper seat angle, would they not?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Built for pedaling.
Steeper
not-
seat angle, different seating position, everything.
I've never actually been on one. I should buy it. Do what AJ said, buy an old road bike. Just get out and rip it.
I tried road biking once. Didn't end up well.
I'd try it maybe on the road, but I just put on a trainer so I could hit that wicked speed that those guys are hitting.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because you got half inch of friggin' rubber between you and the ground.
That's
I'm used to
terrible.
like at least 2.5.
Yeah.
Some grip or something. You hit a slick spot and you're boom. Did that once or twice.
It would be neat to try just to say you did it.
Absolutely.
Never
yeah.
rode a road bike.
Yep, I used to have one back in the UK when I was about 22, 23 maybe.
If I had a
Back
job.
and forth to work.
Yeah, if I had a job, I could bike to work. I'd probably
Before
have
we
a
got
gravel
together, when I was living at Dad's, I had an old road bike.
Really?
Yep.
I'm glad you didn't have it when we got together. It might have been a game changer. Did you wear spandex too?
Oh, no.
Pre-packed chicken
Jeans.
wrap?
Jeans. I don't suppose that really helped. Was it? Oh,
Matthew Blockley.
And there was no lift. Like, that had really good bass.
These chairs have great acoustics.
I know, but you
Pretty
lifted,
good vibrations.
you lifted like the whole thing and it kind of went fired across.
I shot it at Darren.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that. We did get a Vital MTB box.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
going to ask you, what kind of nice treats did you get?
I got my nice hat, woolly hat.
He got
Lovely
it.
and warm.
He got everything in the box, let's be honest. He ordered the box for himself. Don't listen to his bullshit.
I never said a word.
So Darren got a nice pair of socks.
Socks will fit you.
They're freaking massive.
They don't look that big.
So are your legs.
You got a nice Tasco jersey.
Tasco. Never heard of them before. Tasco.
Really? I have.
Feels really
Well, I
nice.
have, but like
It
they
looks
make
nice.
rifle sights. Never heard of Tasco clothing.
You need
But it
to
feels
give
nice.
Wesley a bite of those.
I am not giving him big
Goo-choos.
goos.
Oh, what?
We got
A goo too.
Oh, jeez.
I'm trying to see. I thought I took a picture of the flavor. Yeah, I did. Watermelon goo chews and strawberry goo chews. Are these goo chews like basically the opposite of a weed gummy?
Yeah, that's what Wes had in Edmonton that time.
Oh,
he was
when he
body
was
popping.
like, and you're doing great, and you're doing
Yeah.
awesome, and you are epically wonderful, and I love you, and I love you, and I love that tree, and
It was good.
you remember that?
I did.
That's basically a legal version of speed for you.
It
wasn't
is.
Yeah, it was.
We're gonna try some of that.
I
If you
did, but I-
suffer from ADHD and you want to be pumped, take goo.
I don't think it's just the edit. You typically are a high energy
Yes.
person. I didn't even know. I thought you was like cuckoo. That
Oh, I'm cuckoo. No doubt about that either.
it was just the fact that you was like everybody's cheerleading, like, oh my god, you're doing amazing, you're incredible, and I was like, what the fuck has he been smoking? So
Have you guys tried those packets so seriously? Oh, if you're feeling dead in a ride, that'll do it.
I don't think it was necessarily goo chew. I know that Nikki had something that she gave to the kids when we did Edmonton. Well, she gave Erin some, and it had no impact until we was on our way home.
Yeah, took a while to kick in.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just screaming in like 20 minutes. Like,
Yeah, we know.
Literally ready to just scream.
Yeah, it was a little bit nuts.
It was.
It was funny though.
What's Goober eating?
He's chewing a bone.
Chewing a bone.
He just leaves random bones everywhere.
Well, did you not see when we was talking to Chris? And I don't know, we must have said something that was like a. Oh.
Where's he scoffing all the chocolate almonds?
He must have said something that was like a key word to him. I don't know if we said walk or something, but he just kind of went and was like waiting to see what we was talking. Did you see him? It was just the video.
He was almost like out of a dead sleep.
Yeah. It was just like, oh, you said the words of my people.
Yeah.
And then when we didn't say anything again, he just kind of was like, oh, fuck you. Then I'm back to sleep.
Yeah,
It's a dog's life, isn't it?
it is.
Oh,
Truly
yeah.
is.
He's a very snuggly dog.
So that was good. It was good to connect. I didn't realize just how much trail that they were involved with.
Oh, huge.
I do, and we've walked the Sussex Bluffs, so we've never rode them, correct?
Well,
Correct.
half walked, half run.
Half run.
That was
That was when you need to shit yourself. One of those moments. Yeah, I feel like I've rode it because John rides it a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be fun.
We live a lot of trails vicariously.
That could be spicy.
Oh, yeah, I imagine.
That trail right on the edge would be.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool. I'd like to ride that.
Yeah, so would I.
Bucket list.
It should be okay because
Summer list.
Yeah, well, that's it.
2022.
Yeah.
That's something we should actually do. Is sit down and-
2022 bucket list.
2022 trail list. Things that we're going to systems or trails we're going to hit.
We should listen to one of the January podcasts from last year because I'm pretty fucking sure I said that.
We weren't doing it in January last year, Smart. Dick.
Whenever it was, February, March,
Boom.
April, it's bedtime. I watched
Fist bump.
said so.
Absolutely.
Wankers.
I
No,
love it
because
when you put her in her place.
No. We did no. But listen, Linda, listen. Because in my old agenda, I was at the back, and we'd said 2021 trail systems, and we'd started writing them down. We did have that conversation.
I made a list of. We made a list of the trail systems we rode. which
No,
I-
we wanted ones we wanted to ride.
Well,
Because
maybe
we-
we should
we had
get some
Bathurst on
listener
there.
suggestions.
So,
Do you know what's coming up?
What's coming up?
February.
Our 1 year anniversary.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it
doing our
is.
podcast.
oh,
Need to have a
You know what we should do
party.
for our 1 year anniversary? Let's do a giveaway.
when is our?
Let's
one?
do a
I'm not very
giveaway.
good
What
with
we're giving away?
anniversaries.
Let's give away a hat,
February 24th.
a hat, a jersey,
Did you remember? And I'm so
and
proud
a
of you.
sticker or two or three.
I think
And a
that could be
husband.
arranged.
Let's do that. We'll say it on the podcast so it's official. For our 1 year anniversary, we will give away a jersey, a hat, and some stickers too.
How are we going to give it away? Who are we giving it to?
We'll come up with a
Of
plan.
our 18 listeners.
We'll draw. Pick a number. We'll go
number.
eeny, meeny, miny, mo,
Maybe-
and see which one of the two wins.
Maybe we can do a 50-50 and make a donation to a trail association.
That would be good too.
That'd be fun.
All kinds of
Well,
ideas
we've
on
got
that.
lots of ideas that we can think of.
Absolutely.
And then
Well,
we'll
work it out.
obviously
Watch this
post-
space.
Yeah.
It's developing.
We have time. We have till what, February 20 something? Get over a month. We'll figure it out. We'll do a giveaway for our 1 year anniversary to all of our wonderful listeners.
Sounds good.
Yes,
All right. We call it an evening?
I think. Have we got anything else to cover?
I don't think so.
Not currently.
Who do we have on our next?
Did we talk about ski biking on the last one?
No, we didn't.
We
Did
did do some ski biking.
Yeah, well, if we did talk about it, so
I tried the ski bike
everybody
Laurie
did.
got
Yeah.
and
on
I
the ski
didn't
bike.
die.
I'm very impressed with you trying
Yeah,
the ski
me
bike.
too.
Jen loved the ski bike, didn't she?
Right?
Yeah.
Who didn't?
They are
They are
fun.
fun.
It was
I
awesome.
don't know. I
Like,
didn't get
are we
to go
going
on the
again
ski
Sunday?
bike much.
Yeah, I would.
I'm in for that. Another trip.
I don't know. What's the temperature?
Yeah,
looking
provided
at
it's not like minus
This
30.
weekend is really freaking cold.
Yeah, this
I think the wind kind of subsides tomorrow afternoon, but I didn't look at the.
We could also take them out back here in the hayfields with my snowmobile and a rope.
minus 16. minus
That'd be fun.
16 in the day tomorrow. Brrr.
Yeah.
And minus 11 in the day Sunday.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's
That's
Sunday.
not
fun.
bad.
I'll see you all.
Well, you're going to be moving around a lot, you know.
Well, we don't have to stay for hours and hours.
No. That snow is going to be so fast after these temperatures. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Be nice
Shivering
and dry.
at the thought of minus friggin' 11. I'm such a soft ass.
We've got to get to Ski Hill and try these damn things on the groomers.
I know. Well, we need to book in a sugarloaf.
We do, yeah.
did say that.
Sugarloaf. Well, once all this lockdown nonsense is over,
Yeah.
then I think we'll be good to go.
Exactly.
So okay, I'm totally I totally squirrel.
Again, really?
So Kate has just said, and it's funny because we were just talking about farting. She said the radio was talking random facts driving home today. I laughed. They said that the average person farts 10 times a day. I thought of you, Wes, and felt that wasn't accurate. I'm pretty sure you've farted 10 times in 10 minutes when we've been together before now. In a day? You've got to be up there in the thousands.
Since going gluten-free, I can safely say I probably haven't farted 10 times in a week.
That's impressive.
Oh, it's really,
It really is.
I gotta say, it is pretty fucking awesome because his farts are disgusting. And we can actually go places now and not have to worry about where Darren is going to take a next shit.
I just pack toilet paper all the time.
I did.
I'm eating my gluten.
I know, but he explosively
Yeah, I
shits a
don't.
lot.
I'm able to eat gluten. Cool.
Oh, well.
All right, on the shit note.
Let's go get some food.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Should probably go get the boy from work.
That'd be a good idea, I think.
Keep your
Miss
finger off
Lori.
there, ET.
She's friggin' waiting. She's just going to jab that. We're done.
But it's like 18 minutes past 9. Laurie is ready for her bed.
Yeah, it's like almost an hour past her bedtime.
My finger's not glowing at
It'd be glowing if you hit that button to her.
Yeah.
Well, it was good to talk to Chris from River Valley Cycling.
It certainly was.
And okay, I did ask, but who do we have on the docket coming up?
Oh, yes.
There's a few things that we've been dealing with.
I believe we have the rail yard.
Yeah.
Truro.
Sweet.
Truro gang
Yeah,
next.
there's 3 of them all doing their winter grooming and trail group rides. And
Yeah.
And fingers crossed, come spring, we may have Atherton bikes.
that would be cool.
Oh my
Super
god.
stoked.
Rachel Atherton is someone's. He likes her.
His hall pass.
Yeah.
She's hot, but she's married and she's got kids. So
And
have you?
You're married
Pipe
and
dream.
have kids as well.
Yeah,
There we
did you forget that part?
never forgot.
Okay, Wes, do us out.
Thank you for joining us on the podcast this evening.
Jesus.
It has been wonderful.
What was the fist pump?
It was emotion.
Was that what it was? That's my water bottle.
Peace out. Hit the button, ET.
Good night, y'all.
See you later.